Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Two Bros in a Pod. I'm your host, Brennan Olin, alongside my co-host, stepbrother, Wyatt Olson. Wyatt, how you doing?
Oh, peachy keen, buddy. It's fall, officially, I think.
It's fall. Yeah, you're right.
Very good weather. Very good weather out right now.
Definitely. Even here in Florida, today it was a high of 71 degrees, and I was actually a little chilly.
Yeah, it was a high of 66 here today. Little wind, little cloudiness, some sun here and there, but it was a fall day today.
I know. It's beautiful. It's definitely, well, we'll get to it later, but we're doing a little fall segment, fall rankings at the end of the show. So stick around for that. But yeah, today, 71 degrees. It was partly cloudy for part of the day and then sunny the rest of the day. So like in the sun, it was beautiful. Like you couldn't ask for better weather. But in the shade, it was a little windy today too. I was like a little chilly. Like we are definitely Floridians now because little 60-degree weather had us.
We can't say that in front of our northern folks and our families back home because they'll think we're pansies.
I know. We've both been down south for quite a while now, so we're like, yeah, I feel like I've kind of lost it, but that's all right. This weather's better anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been a while. What have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
What have I been up to in the last couple of weeks? Work, school, work, school.
Adulting.
I don't know what
great.
else, to be honest. I know.
Yeah.
I think that's been kind of it.
Yeah. I'm not doing a whole bunch either, but right now I'm working on trying to get my real estate license. So I've always been kind of interested in that. So I'm trying to do that right now.
How's that been?
Oh my God, so boring. Like I'm not in a class. So like,
yeah,
I've done insurance and I've had my insurance license. It's very similar to that. You got to take these pre-licensing classes and they're super, super boring. And then you take the exam and then you're licensed. But I'm doing all the pre-licensing courses and it's all online. So, and there's like no teacher. It's just the information's there and you got to read it. So it's a struggle. It's been very boring, but I'm almost done. And then I got to study a bit and then I'll take the test soon. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just about to ask you how far along you are. So it sounds like you're done here pretty soon.
Yeah, I should finish up. And I can go at my own pace, but I should finish up probably within the next week or two. And then we'll see how long I study before I take the exam. But yeah, pretty quickly. But yeah, other than that, we are actually getting ready to move. Not moving out of Florida or anything, but like our lease in our current apartment complex, you have to notify them like 60 days before the lease ends if you're going to stay or if you're going to leave. So our rent was going up, of course, because that's just what they do. So we were planning on leaving, but we went down to the office and we're like, we really like this complex. Our apartment's kind of crappy. Like there were just so many random things about our apartment that are messed up. Like you could tell they put this together really quickly. And things are just cheaply made. But other than that, we really like the complex. We're like, do you guys have any other 2 bedrooms available that we'd be able to move into when our lease is up? And they did, but not when our lease is up. They had one available now. So they're like, you guys want to move next week? And we're like, I guess. So, yep. Tomorrow we're officially starting our move and we have like 3 days to do it. But we're literally going down one level in our building.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's the reason we're doing it is it's a slightly different layout. We're going to like the layout, I think, a little more. It's cheaper. It's the main reason. And then on top of that, don't have to pay for any of the moving costs. Like you don't have to get a U-Haul, don't have to do any of that BS. We'll just carry our stuff down the stairs. In you go. And we're off.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Same thing with me too. Of like, I did like a 15-month lease because that was kind of the cheapest around here. And so my 15-month is coming up, I guess, in December or something like that.
Yep.
And I just got a notice a week ago of like, hey, your rent's going up, and so it's like,
yep.
I don't know, I don't want to move like what y'all are doing.
I know it kind of sucks, but
yeah,
had to.
Yeah, so I don't know. Some of my coworkers are like, "Yeah, you gotta find a different spot or whatnot," and I'm like, I don't know. I like where I'm at, but I also, I don't want to move, but the price is crazy.
Yeah, moving sucks. I would definitely avoid it at all costs if you can. But for us, it just made sense because getting a better layout and it's cheaper, so we're doing it. But like, we really do like the complex. It's not bad, and this complex has a really nice gym. That's my favorite part. I go to this gym every time. Most apartment complexes have such crappy gyms. They're like tiny little squares with very little equipment. This complex has its own building for the gym. It's not like huge, but it's got everything I need, and it's not busy, and it's like I can walk to it. So that's the main reason I really wanted to stay. I know the rest of the roommates don't really care, but yeah, worked out for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's all I've been up to. Well, we haven't really started packing. We don't really need to because we're just going down the stairs, so just kind of carry it all down. Yeah. So there's benefits, but I'm sure there's people out there like, are you kidding me? You're moving your entire apartment just to go down one level? Yeah, I feel you. I understand. Gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, watch any football yesterday? I know you watched your team, the Bills, lay an egg.
Yeah.
But
I I had to work softball and softball and soccer games yesterday during the day, so I didn't watch any football. I saw the Eagles lost to the Jets, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I watched the Bills game. That was gouged my eyes out, sucked, but I'm glad that they won, and we're better than the Giants.
Barely.
And I tell you what, I don't think I would ever thought of watching that game and thinking how many times I would have saw Daniel Jones, like during the game, even though he didn't play whatsoever. I didn't think, like, if we were to bet how many times we would have saw Daniel Jones on the sidelines on the TV, I probably would have gotten that one wrong.
Were they giving him
would have lost some money.
Were they giving him the Taylor Swift treatment?
Very much so. It was actually absurd. He's not that good.
No. Tyrod was, I mean, I don't know. Tyrod, they only scored 6 points or whatever, so he's not that great. Yeah. But I mean, there wasn't a huge difference between him and Daniel Jones, that's for sure.
But he was wanting to stick it to Buffalo for sure.
Yeah. I was just listening to a podcast. Tyrod is, like, over his career, what do you think his win percentage is as a starter, Tyrod Taylor?
It's actually pretty high, I think. It's like, I want to say it's like 700 or something.
No, it's not that high. But like, if you would have asked me, I would have said maybe like 35-40%. And nope, he's 500. He's like, I can't remember exactly what it is. He's like 26, 26, and 1. So he's like exactly 500.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, he played for the Bills back in the day. That was the guy that I saw when I was over in that area. But
yeah, it makes sense too. They were never like terrible with him, but they were never good either. So that's the best job in the NFL is backup. Like, if you get like, I'm pretty sure like they make so much money, and most of them don't end up getting into the game. But like the dudes that stick around for 15 years that are just a backup. Oh my God. That's the best job you can get in football.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
Yeah. This kind of why I just don't trust the Bills. On top of their bad luck with all the injuries lately, they struggled really bad against the Jags in London. It was a London game, and everybody kind of
And the Jags were there for a week before.
Yeah, the Jags were there for a week before. I don't know if I picked them to win. I probably didn't, but I was not surprised at all that the Jags beat them there. But to come back, well, I guess before that, they had only scored 7 points until the fourth quarter in that game, and then they finally picked it up and put a good comeback together. But then in this game, 0 points until the fourth quarter again. It's like, what is going on? And Josh was just playing like a maniac from what I saw. I missed most of the first half, but like every single time he dropped back, he was running for his life and just making some crazy throws, and he's putting his body on the line. He's always done that, but like he got hurt last night. His shoulder's messed up. I don't know like how serious it is, but dude just doesn't know how to chill and he keeps getting hurt. Like, it's not good.
I know it. I don't know.
I know. It's because they can have these games where they put it on the Dolphins. Like, they were clearly up for that game, and they played great. And they'll do that all the time. Like, they beat the Chiefs in the regular season, like every year. That's just what they do. But ever since that Dolphins game, the injuries, and they just haven't played well. I feel like for the Dolphins, it was probably a good thing they lost because they're like, oh, we're not that good. We're beatable. Like, we got to be on our A game. And then Buffalo's probably like, whew, we just smoked them, and they just put 70 on the Broncos. They're probably feeling great. And then when lose one game, almost lose another.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, though, and I'm not going to make any excuses, but Brian Daboll is a pretty good dude. Also was with the Bills as their offensive coordinator for a few years before getting the Giants job. He knew the ins and outs of Buffalo. So I knew it was going to be a tougher game than, people were expecting with the Giants.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was going to be a 14-9 game.
Yeah.
And it definitely shouldn't have been with the Giants defense because they're not good defensively.
I know. It's weird watching the Giants. They played Buffalo really tough last night, and they also played the 49ers pretty tough a couple weeks ago, whatever Thursday night game that was. The Niners still crushed them, but I walked away thinking, wow, the Giants are actually kind of they're tough. They'll play you tough.
Yeah.
But then they have other games where they've just underperformed all year. So
like Dallas,
definitely not good.
The Dallas game.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're definitely not good, but they have they get up for the tough opponents and actually play them tough. But yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't. If I was their coach yesterday, I don't know if Daboll calls the offensive plays or not, but if you're on the 1 yard line with the game on the line, you got one play. I'm not throwing up a little lob pass to Waller like they did. I'm putting Saquon at quarterback and doing the tush push. like who's gonna stop that? That dude's legs are ginormous.
Well, that definitely would have helped me in fantasy in my other league and not have lost to my sister, which did happen. So,
yikes.
Yeah, Gabe beat me by it was 117 to 79. It was a terrible week.
Ooh.
Terrible week.
You know what? I'm up by 5 right now or whatever it is, and Elliott doesn't have any players left. I have a couple, so unless they fumble 50 times or something, I'm gonna win.
Elliott 0-7 now?
Drop to 0-6. 0-6. Oh man,
gosh!
And he's
trash. You trash, Gus. You're so bad.
And he's trying too. We got Brett in the league, and he's definitely not trying. He's 0-6, but like that makes sense. He's not really trying. He's got Justin Jefferson in his lineup. Let's see. Let's go look at his lineup this week. I feel like we need to reach out to him and be like, bro, set your lineup. He had Roshan Johnson, who did not play. He was out. Justin Jefferson on the IR. Christian Watson, who was on his bye week. James Conner, also on the IR. And Daniel Jones out. All in his starting lineup. So
this is Brett?
Brett, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically what I'm trying to say is Brett's 0-6, and you can see why Elliott is also 0-6.
Gus is trying.
He is trying. I looked at his schedule. It's actually really funny. He lost 2 weeks in a row by 1 point each. So he's had some like really crappy luck.
Gus, you trash. You trash.
I was gonna look at this. So week 5. Where's he at? Oh, he got killed in week 5. Week 4, he lost to his girlfriend Kayla by a point.
I also lost to Kayla by a point.
Yeah, she's been skating by somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And then week 3, Elliott also lost to Colin by a point. So 2 weeks in a row, he lost by a point. The week before that, he lost by 2 points. So 3 weeks in a row, lost by a combined 4 to 5 points. So that's tough. That's fantasy.
You trash. That is fantasy for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't watch. I watched some football. There's a lot of really crappy games. It was very low scoring. Even fantasy, it was pretty low scoring for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets somehow won. They are like, their defense is so good because Zach Wilson and that offense is so bad. But somehow they're like 3-3. Browns beat the Niners. The Niners finally lost a game. The Browns have a really good defense, but the Niners kind of lost all their weapons. Not really scared for them. They'll be fine.
And the Eagles the same because they were undefeated too, right?
Yep. So both the NFC teams lost. Packers didn't play, obviously, but holy crap, they're terrible. They clearly, like, the first 2 weeks or whatever, first 3 weeks were a lie. I mean, that's kind of who they're going to be, just very inconsistent, but like, oh my God, they've been so bad. They've lost to some crappy teams.
Jordan Love's got some work. He's got some work to do.
And that's to be expected. Like, he's a young guy. Even though he's been there for 3 years under Rodgers, like, nothing compares to actually playing in the games.
Yeah.
There's so many Bears fans talking crap. It's annoying. Like, I had roommates in college who are from Illinois, and he's always talking about the Bears, talking crap about the Packers and stuff. It's like, Fields was MVP for 1 week last week, and then back to reality. He scored 6 points or whatever. Bears suck. Can't talk crap about the Packers when your team sucks and you still lost to them this year. So
the Lions though.
Lions are dominating.
Golly, they look good. They look good.
Crazy. 5-1 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough. They just lost their running back, but doesn't matter. I got the GOAT, Sam Laporta, in fantasy. All of a sudden, I think he was the number 1 tight end in fantasy. I don't know if he still is, but he's a beast. They got back that Jameson Williams, who's really fast, and then one of my favorite players in the NFL, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a beast too. So they're set.
Yeah. They're good.
That's all I really care to talk about football.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of it, kind of. Yeah, but I missed the first half.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I missed the first half of that Bills game because I was watching the Bucks. Dame and Giannis finally played together for the first time, preseason game. That was pretty fun. They played the Lakers. LeBron wasn't playing, but Anthony Davis was, so it's still decent competition out there. But yeah, it looks good. I mean, they only played the first half together, and then Giannis didn't play the second half. Dame only played half of the third quarter or whatever, but you can already tell, like, they're going to be tough to stop. I mean, they both draw so much attention. There's going to be a lot of open looks for everybody else. So, yeah, I'm excited. But
yeah,
got a week left. And see, like 10 days or so, and then I'll be back in Wisconsin, go to the home opener. I'm pumped.
Are you just flying in for the game and then flying right back, or what?
Pretty much. We leave next week Wednesday. The game is on Thursday, so we'll stay. And then we're just going to stay the weekend. We leave on Sunday. So Wednesday to Sunday action.
There you go.
Yeah, we got lucky.
That'll be good.
Like, a couple weeks ago, Southwest was doing a deal where you could get like 50% off flights. It just happened to be like the same time the Bucks got Dame, and I was like, okay, let's do this. So it worked out.
Heck yeah.
Impulse buy, but worth it.
Yeah. Everyone's going to Milwaukee. Everyone's going to that Bucks game.
Yep. Yeah, for real. They told they said something about how many like season ticket packages they sold since the news. It was like, I don't even know, thousands of season ticket packages since the news. And then I haven't looked at the numbers, but Dame's jersey has been flying off the shelves. So yeah, the hype is real.
I might get me a Lillard jersey.
I know, it's pretty cool. I never wear jerseys, and like I wear them to the games, but yeah, it's like Dame Lillard. Like, that's a pretty cool jersey to have, because you never would have thought he'd be on the Bucks. But
no,
yeah. Have you been watching baseball? The Brewers flamed out like I figured they would.
Yeah, I have been, but I mean, they didn't play great. But I tell you what, the Diamondbacks are just on fire. Like, they blew through the Brewers, blew through the Dodgers. Yeah, they were no joke. Atlanta got pretty much blown through by the Phillies, and the Phillies look like they're no joke. And they're playing right now, the Phillies and the Diamondbacks, for the championship series, game 1. I'm really excited about that one. I think the Phillies are going to win, though, because Bryce Harper looks freaking. He looks too good. He looks too good right now.
Yeah, he's on a tear. They're all hitting homers left and right.
Yeah, they had like 6 home runs in one of the games against the Braves. You just couldn't beat them. And then the Orioles looked terrible, of course, against the Rangers. Rangers have kind of been doing better than I thought they would, and they're playing the Astros. And they beat the Astros last night 2-0. So I hope the Rangers win, because I can't stand watching the Astros again in the World Series. So
yeah,
well, we'll see.
I know it's been a big topic, the whole, like, because like almost all the best record teams lost, and the ones with byes lost, and everybody's been freaking out about it. And so I get it. It's been a big topic. I get it, but they used to do the 1-game wild card, and I think it's very entertaining, but like, why play 162 games just to get 1 game, lose, and be done? So they changed it and went to the 3-game series, and it still feels stupid because the Brewers, of course, lose both games and they're done. But
yeah,
where do you fall on that? What side do you think? Are you like, do you think teams that get a bye, like, how do you fix that? These teams that get a bye, they kind of lose their mojo.
I know. And I even kind of worried about, like, even the teams that got, like, now, I mean, most of the teams that got swept, they're still waiting on a couple of days to get through before they start as well. So I don't know. I really did like the one game, knockout games, but like to your point, you play 162 games and it's like it's an exciting game to watch just because someone's going home at the end, but at the same time you're getting those games all the time in each of the series. When you're down 1-0 or whatever that may be. So I mean, I like the way it's set up now, but I just I don't know how. It's crazy that all 3 100-win teams got blown out of. They just got blown out.
Yeah, I know. And I mean,
crazy.
It makes sense because they're used to playing every day. They're used to playing 6 days out of the week, 7 days out of the week, and then you got to take a week off to wait for your opponent. It definitely would mess with your rhythm a little bit. So I get that, but I'm not really sure how you fix it. Maybe you could just to make it a little more fair, which I don't think this really even makes that big of an impact, but maybe you could give them all the home games, just like every game is played at your park because you're the higher seed. The other team doesn't get a home game, but like it didn't matter. I mean, the D-backs came in, whooped the Brewers in Miller Park. That's what I'm going to call it, Miller Park. And then went in and whooped the Dodgers in LA too. So I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, because every game in that wild card series or whatever you want to call it, like each team got swept. Like the Rangers swept the Rays. Was it the Astros that swept whoever they were playing? I can't think of. And then
don't ask me.
Diamondbacks, Phillies. They just swept through. So I mean, I don't know. It's I like the setup they got, and to be honest, I'm sure it's going to expand again. I'm sure I'm sure they'll add 2 more teams to make for a wild card game on both sides again somewhere down the line. I don't think it'll be soon, but it'll be. I don't see this being a permanent solution by any means.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a big topic in all of sports too, because like this is kind of how I felt. I didn't pay attention to baseball, but it's similar to basketball too, where the whole regular season kind of doesn't matter because it's going to come down to the playoffs anyway. Like the Brewers had a great regular season. They overachieved for their roster, and you get home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. It's like, that's all you can ask for.
Yep.
And they stunk it up, lose 2 games, and they're done. It's like, all right, well, why did I just waste? I didn't personally, but if you're a fan, why did you waste your entire summer watching this team just to see them lose in 2 games in 2 nights and it be done?
Right. No, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, same for basketball. Like, especially with the Bucks lately, like it's either championship or bust, and they don't play. Like, it's worse in the NBA with load management and stuff. Like, they're always resting players because they know the only thing that matters is playoffs. Like, players get contracts based on their playoff performance. Coaches get fired based on their playoff performances. Doesn't really matter what seed you are. Like the Heat last year, 8 seed, played terrible all regular season. Took 1 injury, Giannis got hurt, and they beat the Bucks in 5 games. The Bucks were the number 1 seed. Doesn't matter. You just wasted 82 game regular season and lost in 5. Like, just makes you feel like, what is the point of a regular season? And I feel like they need to figure something out because it hurts the product. Like, fans lose interest. I don't know. I mean, they got to do something.
No, I agree 100%. What I was going to say, to answer your question on why the regular season, and it's literally all because of revenue. Like, NBA shouldn't be playing 82 games in a year. And I agree with your point. Even baseball too. Like baseball, they've chatted about before and have gotten turned down, but the Players Association has asked for them to reduce the games to. They play 162 games a year. They're going to try to reduce it to 147. I believe was the number. So almost 20 games or so, a little less than that. But and I wish it was that way. Selfishly, not from a revenue standpoint, but just from a player standpoint, because in baseball they're getting one day off per month, and I know their season is shortened, but really it's not, because they start in February and they're ending in October, November, and that's a pretty quick turnaround. Basketball, I can't stand how long it is. It's way too long of a season. It gets stretched out from really, I mean, October to almost July, and I feel like it's just another quick turnaround too.
I know.
You're right. Like all it is just to get into the playoffs, because the playoffs is really the biggest thing. NBA, it drives me nuts of watching games, because all that matters is the playoffs.
Yeah, and they've already put in new rules that's supposed to help the load management thing. Like, if it's a nationally televised, I know it's not going to work. Like, if it's a nationally televised game, you're not allowed to rest your player, whatever. They're going to find ways around it. It's still going to happen. It's so dumb. Like, and you're right. It's only because money. Like, they're never going to shorten the season by that much, because why would they do that if they're making money on it? So it's tough. The NBA is trying in-season tournament this year. I don't really think I think it'll be fun to watch, but I don't think the players are going to care about it, because they get a little extra money and they get to be named the in-season tournament champion. Like, they don't give a crap about that. So I don't think that really works. But someone, a friend reached out and was like, yeah, they should do something like soccer does, where there's not necessarily playoffs. Every single regular season game matters, and they have in-season tournaments and all this stuff. I'm not super familiar with how it works, but like, anything to make the games matter more, that's what I want.
Yeah. The relegation stuff too would be interesting in that aspect as well.
There'd be no,
I know,
no tanking.
No, it would never get to that point in American sports, but I don't know, and I know, my selfish fan reasons for that, of like, I care a lot about the players in that aspect of like, I get the load management stuff, and like I don't see a problem with it, but I see the problem in the revenue side of it and the fan side of it. But I get both sides for sure, and I get why there's so many games, because of revenue and being able to pay the players the amounts that they want, and kind of just staying up with the Joneses on things, and being able to pay all the salaries, not even just the players, but all of the staff and all of that stuff. It's just it's frustrating to me, of like, the playoffs is really what matters the most, and you just gotta drag it out for so long just to get in, and once you get in, it's just a different game. But I don't know,
completely different. Like the team side, I understand it. They make the most money if they're in the playoffs, and they want to have a long playoff run so they can make the most money they can. So like, they don't want to risk a player getting hurt in the regular season, ruining those chances. But like, the whole reason they're allowed to play the game and get paid the money that they get paid is because of the fans. So I don't know, like, if there's your one chance that the star you want to see comes to your city, he better play if he's healthy. Like, that's just not fair. People are paying, and ticket prices are crazy too. So like, people are paying $100 to get into the game, and then the best player's not even playing; he's sitting on the bench. So yeah, sports are. I mean, I feel like my sports fandom has started to wane over the years. I'm still a very big Bucks fan, but like, as soon as they're done contending, as soon as Giannis is done or whatever, I feel like I'm going to be kind of checked out. Like, I'm already completely checked out of baseball. I was pretty checked out of the Packers, and I was excited for this year because Rodgers finally gone. There was a little shakeup, but they're terrible, so I'm kind of checked out again already. Like, the reason, and sorry, I'm rambling, but like, the reason football is so successful is because it's once a week, and there was only 16 weeks. Now there's 17 because they're money hungry too. They're probably gonna expand that. They'll probably go up to 18 games. I've heard that from multiple people. Like, the reason it's so good is it's once a week, or now they have. I mean, eventually they're gonna have games every night, but that's why people care. It's only once a week.
And even that is trickling down to college football, and they're expanding their playoffs to, to 12 or whatever it is. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I know. I don't know. At a certain point, it's not good for the product itself. Like, imagine if in basketball or baseball, they played one game a week or 2 games a week. You wouldn't, like in baseball, it'd be different. You wouldn't even need a 5-man starting rotation. Like, you could have 2 guys and they'd just pitch every game. You'd have the best pitchers going every night. And then basketball, nobody would be sitting out. They'd be playing that one game. The product would be way better. It'd be way more competitive. But like, they're just never going to do that because they don't want to lose out on the money. So
no,
we can only
they'll get the fans.
Wish. Yeah. Can only dream.
Yeah. I don't know. And I just feel like, I mean, even, in my side of things of, working in sports compared to being a fan of sports, my perspectives have changed throughout the years. What you were saying of, your fan experience has been, different now. It's kind of been the same for me too. I've actually kind of enjoyed watching other sports like the soccers and the hockeys and things like that, because it's something I'm unfamiliar with, didn't play growing up, and seems a little more interesting than the other sports, just because we've known them growing up, and then, I mean, everything is always changing, but I just feel like sports in general are just changing by the second, and there's a fair amount of things for the good, but there's some things that may not be as good, but we're trial and error period.
Yeah. Personally, I feel like there's been a lot more negative than positive about sports over the last however many years. Like, if you're just an average working class person and you hear and listen to all these athletes just constantly complaining, demanding trades, and just never being happy, yet they're making millions and millions of dollars, it's like, it just turns you off. Like, you're not interested in that stuff. So that's kind of how I feel. Like, sports, it's been very different. Like football, I think another main reason it's so successful is because of fantasy and sports gambling and betting and stuff. Like, even though I'm not super interested in the Packers, I can still go watch games because I have a fantasy team. Like, be like, watch a random game, be like, I hope Austin Eckler does good tonight or something,
Yeah.
So definitely a different experience. Growing up, used to watch everything.
Yeah. Yep, we did.
Yeah. I'd be every single night watching Brewers games. Like, those things are 3 hours long. And I used to just have it on every night. Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. But let's take a break quick, and then we'll come back with a great, fun fall segment. So we're back. We got 2 rankings today. First one, we're going to rank the seasons. And then after that, since we're in fall, we're going to do a top 5 ranking of your favorite fall things. And that can be activities, it can be just things about fall, whatever. So that's what we got. But we're going to start it off with seasons. So you can go first. I'll give you the first pick. Start with your number 4, your least favorite season.
Okay, so just to clarify, because I heard you say specifically the weather. Is it as these season rankings go? Is it specifically the weather, or just anything and everything about the seasons?
Anything and everything, all encompassing. Okay. Just gotta rank your seasons.
Got it. So my least favorite, and I think it's a fair assessment if you understand from moving north to south, my least favorite is the winter.
Yep. Okay.
You?
So it's really tough. So we were talking about this before. I have different rankings because in Wisconsin, summer and winter are very different than summer, winter in Florida. So I chose to do this ranking where I am right now. So my rankings living in Florida. My least favorite season is summer. And it would definitely be my favorite if I was in Wisconsin. So.
Nope. Here's the deal. Everyone.
You like dripping in sweat. You like as soon as you go out. You live down south. It's humid where you are too. So
no,
you like going outside and immediately you feel that bead of sweat dripping down your back, right down your crack.
I don't like it. But here's the thing. For everyone, all the family members that live up north, okay, it still gets cold down south in the winter. It still gets cold. Like when I was first winter in Louisiana, it was dropping in the teens, in the 20s. Like it's still cold down here. So I just don't like, the only thing I like about winter is when it snows on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. That's it. So to say that you have summer over winter, or summer as the least favorite over winter, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's just different. If I was in Wisconsin and ranking it there, winter would be dead last and summer would be my favorite. But living in Florida, it's completely the opposite. So yeah, right now I would say summer's my least favorite. Well, it's so hot here. My dad and Corey and Gus, Gabe too, like they've all come down here in the summertime, and we went to Disney too, so they got like a brutal experience of Florida summer. It's like as soon as you walk outside, you feel tingly, and it's just the sweat forming, and you start sweating immediately.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good.
So yeah, that's why I had it last. So what's your number 3?
Well, that's where this gets tricky, because I'm with you on like the fall and the summer in Wisconsin and in Louisiana. They're different. So I have my summer and my fall kind of connected a little bit. If I'm down here, summer is my least. If I'm in Wisconsin, fall is second least. So that's where I'm at.
All right. I was going to say, maybe we should change it to do your list as if you're living in Louisiana.
All right. In Louisiana, it's summer. Summer is my second least, for the same reasons that you mentioned in summer.
Okay, so winter's your least favorite, or is that going to change too in Louisiana?
Nope.
Winter's still your least favorite?
Winter is the least favorite, then summer is next.
Then summer. All right. So for me in Florida, my least favorite would be summer. Next is going to be spring. This is like just inverse my list from Wisconsin pretty much. But number 3 in Florida would be spring because it doesn't really feel like spring here. It's just really hot. Doesn't really matter. As soon as winter's over, it goes right to being 95 degrees. So, and then outside of that, I mean, spring, baseball starts. I'm not a huge fan. That's usually when basketball is ending. So just not my cup of tea.
Fair enough.
All right, so number 2 for you.
Number 2 is fall.
Okay.
I like fall.
I also have that as my number 2. So that means my number 1 in Florida is winter. But it was
seriously
tough. It's tough to choose between the two. Here, I don't know how different it is in Louisiana. Here, it only gets cold for like a week or two. And it'll get down to the 40s and 50s, like 40s at night. And that sucks. When it's cold here, it feels worse than when it's cold in Wisconsin for some reason. Yeah. But like normally where I am, we're not by the water either, which might make a difference. We're smack dab in the middle of the state. It doesn't really get cold. It's like the average day in the winter is like anywhere from 65 to 75 degrees. It's beautiful. So that's why I had to put it first, but fall's great too. Like we're in fall right now. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, it was 71 degrees out today. It's like anytime it's not blistering hot or really cold, I'm happy. So, what about you? Why'd you have fall?
So yeah, fall was my 2, and then spring is number 1. So I really enjoyed the fall because it's like you just got done with the worst of August, because that's like when it's super hot,
extremely hot. Yeah.
So when you know that you've gotten through all of the crazy hot summer, like fall's perfect. Winter always sucks. Anywhere you go, it sucks. It sucks. I hate that the sun goes down the fastest in the winter. It sucks. I don't like it. I like the daylight.
That's a good
my favorite is the spring, because the spring you're transitioning out of winter. Spring is the same. It's number 1 if I was living in Wisconsin too, because I don't know why. I love looking at dirty snow. Like I just love it.
God,
I love the dirty snow. Yuck. Because I know that means that it's spring.
But it's
the winter
so ugly.
Is dead. Winter is done. I love it. I love the dirty snow.
Ew.
Love it.
I do like spring a lot more in Wisconsin, but I did not even think about the sunlight in winter. That is a huge problem. Oh, yes. The weather's great, but like it's dark by 5 p.m.
Yes, and you have that as your top 1. That's ridiculous.
I think I messed up. I think I'll switch. I think I'll switch fall
Can't
and
switch
winter.
Now. It's locked in.
Yeah,
you cheater.
Fine. Yeah, the weather in the winter is the best, but being dark at 5 o'clock is freaking terrible. So.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. Super bad.
All right. I'll give you the win on that one, I guess. But next, we're going into top 5 things about fall, or things to do in fall, whatever you want to do. So start it off.
Yeah.
What's your number 5?
Okay, number 5. When I was doing this list, I had like my number 1 locked in, and I worked from 2, 3, 4, 5. So I forgot to add this.
By the way,
down the list.
Sorry to cut you off, but I know you're number 1.
No, you're good.
Should I say it right now?
What do you think my number one is?
Your number
what
one
do you think my number one is?
Wyatt loves a good pumpkin spice latte. He just can't wait to get one of those from Starbucks. Did I crack it? Is that right?
It's not my number one, but I do like pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh, great! Yeah, see, I called it sort of.
That you butt. That's not my number one.
Sorry to throw you off. Back to your list. Number 5.
Number 5 is postseason baseball. I absolutely love, as we were talking about earlier, postseason baseball. It's the best.
This is gonna be funny. My number 5 favorite thing about fall: baseball is finally done.
Oh,
get that crap off my TV.
What do you mean? That's like winter.
No,
that's winter when it's done.
I mean, it is pretty much, but like,
yeah,
it's fall right now, and it's in the end games. But you know what? We talked about shortening the season. It would make it way more. It just would make way more sense if they ended at the beginning of October. Just take a month out of the season. Start the playoffs a month earlier, because it's going to be freezing in November.
Well, it's called adversity. Deal with that. The other thing we can talk about the NBA too. On the flip side of this is it would make my summers much more enjoyable if I didn't have to watch basketball in June. But yeah,
the only reason
we're stuck with it, aren't we?
The only reason I'm okay with basketball going longer is because you can put off stupid baseball for another couple months. Baseball starts in March or whatever.
Since we're going on
do basketball till September. Give baseball October. It's fine.
All right, I've got to say this because I'm so frustrated. The NBA is ridiculous. Okay, you have the All-Star break in February. You start the playoffs in March.
Yeah,
and it goes till June.
I agree.
Come on now.
Stupid.
Come on now.
That's a whole different subject. The All-Star game is terrible too. So they might as well just get rid of it. But yeah,
the whole week terrible.
It's not in the middle of the season and doesn't make much sense. So I agree with that.
Might as well just start the season with the All-Star break. Who cares? Who cares?
The COVID year actually was kind of good because they started. It was a little weird, but like they started at Christmas. That's when I think the NBA should start.
Yeah. Yes.
It should start at Christmas and
end in March.
Definitely not. The good thing about that year is the finals ended up being in July, and that's when the Bucks went to the championship. So like the weather was beautiful. That's why the Deer District was so popping, because like it was July in Wisconsin. It was beautiful outside. They're normal. The way it is normally, it's April when the playoffs start. That's very hit or miss in Wisconsin. You could get 70 degrees, you could get snow. So like that year was perfect. I don't know why, but yeah. All right, we talked too long about that.
It is very hit or miss. Yeah.
Your number 5. Your number 5, postseason baseball. My number 5, favorite thing about fall: baseball is finally done. All right, number 4 for you.
I'm just more of the optimistic positivity guy, and Brennan's the loser. So, my number 4, to Brennan's point, anything pumpkin. I like the pumpkin spice lattes. I love pumpkin pie. Pumpkin. I don't like necessarily gutting a pumpkin. It's not necessarily my favorite thing to do, but I'll get my hands dirty and carve a pumpkin. And I like pumpkin muffins, pumpkin sunflower seeds, money. All
of this is garbage.
Pumpkin anything. That's my number 4.
As the kids would say, pumpkin is mid. It's terrible.
It's gas. It's gas.
No. We were talking before this. I could not come up with anything for my favorite fall things. I had 2 things on my list for like 10 minutes. And it would have been funny to just leave it at 2 things because I kind of hate fall. Like, I like the weather, but I hate pumpkins. I hate Halloween. Underrated.
Yeah, I don't like Halloween.
I know a lot of people like Halloween. I hate it. Despise it. It's like my least favorite holiday. I hate carving pumpkins. It's too much of a chore, and I'm not artistic. Pumpkin pie is plain and boring.
Shut your mouth. Get out of here.
So, yeah, just not a big fall guy. But, all right, number 4, pumpkins for Wyatt. My number 4.
Anything else, Negative Nelly?
My number 4. Once again, my list was hard to come up with. Couldn't think of much. My number 4, I put leaves.
What? Leaves.
Leaves. Oh, yeah. So, the beautiful fall foliage.
Leaves.
And
Oh, you like picking them up? Chore guy?
I hate that, but I did love when I was a kid. Once you raked them into a pile to jump into them. That was fun.
Oh, smart.
But this is definitely a Wisconsin thing because down here the leaves don't change. It's still freaking summer right now. But up north, that 1 week, because fall is so quick, you get 1 week where the trees are different colors and then all the leaves are gone. Then it's depressing. But yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay. Oh man, that's good.
It's tough to follow.
The leaves. Number 3 for me is apple orchards.
Ooh,
I like going to the apple orchard. I'm not really a big maze guy. I don't like the mazes,
scared?
But
Scared to get lost? Scared of the corn?
No, I'm not scared of it. It's just it drives me nuts getting lost, and then I can't figure out how to get out, and so I end up just going back through the entrance instead of going to the end. So whatever, it's fine. But I like the apple cider donuts. Really, all of this involves around food for me.
Yeah. I didn't have that on my list, but an apple orchard is a good time. I do like apple cider. Better than the pumpkin crap.
Yeah, agreed.
I like the mazes. I like going for like the tractor rides.
The tractor rides. Yep.
Skellies, I believe
rides.
Yes, yep. Skellies, I believe they have like the thing where you can shoot apples now. Yeah. That was fun. I do like that. That's a good time. So I'll take that one. My number 3, I put football.
I thought you were going to say the trees.
Leaves, and then trees, and then the roots. Number 1.
The roots.
Yeah, number 3, football. It's just like after a long summer, once football comes back, nicer weather's coming right around the corner. It cools off a little bit. And I enjoy fantasy football. Yeah. So it's in fall. Number 3.
Total football.
Yeah. All right. You're number 2.
Number 2, not similar to leaves, but in the same category of leaves. I like the changing of the colors.
Okay, that's the same thing I had.
It's the colors.
I didn't put changing of the colors.
It's different though because it's not raking the leaves in the pile and jumping into them, and
then
it
should have been more
accidentally
specific.
Finding a stick and hitting that when you're diving into it. So I like the changing of the colors. The scenery is very nice in the fall. Preferably, like you said, in the north.
The leaves.
Of the leaves.
All right. So my number 2 is the weather. Either in Wisconsin or Florida, it's pretty good weather in the fall. Finally cools down a little bit. In Wisconsin, you do get all the changing colors of leaves. But, yeah, I don't know. It's good weather. Not too hot, not too cold. I really struggled with this list, okay? I have no explanations. I just put shit down and put stuff down. Sorry.
My word, this is the best list yet. Want to know why? Because I had a better list than you.
Yeah, whatever. All right, you're number one.
My number one is not a pumpkin spice latte. It is similar to what your number two is, but specifically it's hoodie season. Enjoy wearing the hoodie. You can't wear a hoodie in southern hot summer weather.
Nope.
And I like the hoodie and the shorts. I feel like that's like the perfect. Like, I don't necessarily like when it's too cold of winter where you're like all bundled up. I just like wearing the hoodies and the shorts. Yeah. I feel like that's just perfect for like being out and about, doing your stuff outside. It's
comfortable. Perfect. Yeah.
Yes, it's comfortable.
That is an underrated part of moving that you just like don't think about too much. I like hardly ever get the chance to wear hoodies or pants or sweatpants or anything. Like, it's always way too hot for that. And growing up in Wisconsin, I felt like I lived in hoodies and sweatpants. But
yeah,
I have so many things in my closet. Like, I have half of it I left in Wisconsin because I just never use it. But here, me too. I have bins of sweatshirts that I never touch because it's never cold enough. So,
right.
Yeah. Underrated. That's a good one.
Yeah.
My number one is, of course, the start of basketball season.
No.
Plain and simple. Same time, baby.
For the record, everyone,
MVP number 3, let's go.
For the record, the two things that Brennan had on his list, he had before I said, oh, I added some sports things because I forgot about it. So the three things that were sports, that was the things that he was able to figure out after 10 minutes of thinking about fall things. Just for the record.
Your information, the two things I had were my number 1 and number 2, basketball and weather. I couldn't think of the other 3.
Fair enough.
But my favorite one, though, maybe I should move to number 1, is baseball's finally done. Oh, almost. We're almost there.
Terrible.
All right.
That's why summer can't move up for me, because NBA is still in there.
Nah. All right, everybody. Comment your favorite things to do in the fall. Rank your seasons. Tell me whose list you like better. Mine, not Wyatt's. And yeah, let us know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe, follow us. 2 Bros in a Pod, Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. We're there. Sorry we're a little late with this one. Got a little busy, but try and have this up by either tomorrow night or Wednesday. We'll see. I gotta move my apartment down a level.
Oh man, that's good. Good excuse.
Yeah. All right. Nice to see you, I guess. I'll talk to you later.
Oh, piss off, Brennan.
All right. Peace.
Doodles.
Take it easy, Mountain Faith.